children, and welcome back to Talks from Uncle Trev. We're learning lessons from Euro 2020. Look at all those people trying to get into the stadium to watch the football match. Now, not all of them are going to be able to get in because they haven't got a ticket. Only the people with a ticket will be allowed into the stadium. Now, how do you think they'll get all those people into the stadium? Do you think they have a big wide gate that they just open and they let everybody go in? No, they have a very small gate, a very narrow gate. We call it a turnstile. Have a look at this man over here. He's walking towards the turnstile. Can you see how narrow it is? And then he has to take his ticket and he has to show his ticket, and then the turnstile will open and it'll allow him into the stadium. Why do you think the turnstiles are so narrow? Well, it's because only one person is allowed in at a time. Now, when I was a little boy, my dad used to take me to quite a lot of football matches. And one of the matches I used to go to was to watch Liverpool. And there'd be loads of people outside the ground. It'd be packed. And my dad would hold me by his hand to keep me safe. But then we'd get to the turnstile and he'd say to me, "Trev, you've got to do this bit on your own. You've got to go through that narrow gate on your own. I can't do it for you. We can't fit in together. It's one at a time." So I'd have to go up to the turnstile and I'd have to have my ticket, or in those days we had to have money, and we had to pay the man on the turnstile and he'd open a little gate for me and I'd be able to squeeze through. And all the people in the stadium only got in there because they went through the narrow gate. So we know, children, that God made us so that we could enjoy him, so that we could be friends with God. And we know from last week that God gave us rules. And the main rules were that we should love God with everything that we have, and we should love our neighbour, the people around us, as much as we love ourselves. But we found out last week, children, that we've broken all these rules. And because we've broken the rules, we have to be separated from a holy God. God has to put us away from him. It's like there's a barrier between us and God, and that barrier is called sin. And there's no way that we can be friends with God anymore because God is a holy God. But here's the good news, children. There is a way back to God. And the way back to God is through a narrow gate. A narrow gate will lead us back to God. And it's the only way back to God. Now, this gate is really special because this gate is the Lord Jesus. He said, "I am the gate, and whoever comes through me will be saved, will be rescued." So the way to get back to God is to go to Jesus. And by going through Jesus, we find our way back to God. Now, can you remember that turnstile that I showed you earlier? To get into the stadium, the supporters had to go in one by one. They couldn't go in 3 or 4 at a time. They had to go in by themselves, one at a time. And it's the same when we come back to God. We have to go through the gate, and we have to go through that gate by ourselves. Your mum and dad can't take you through that gate. Your grandma and granddads can't take you through that gate. Your brother and sisters can't take you through that gate. You have to go through that gate on your own. And remember, that gate is the Lord Jesus. So I wonder, have you come back to God yet? Have you come through the gate? The gate is the Lord Jesus Christ. Well, our prayer is that you will. Hey children, it's been lovely talking to you again. Make sure that you come back next week so that you can learn another really important lesson from Euro 2020. And until then, try and watch some of that football and enjoy it. And I'll see you next week. So it's bye from me. Bye.